All right, buckle up, everybody, because we are diving deep today
Deep dive.
into Tata Motors' second quarter performance for fiscal year 2025.
Yeah, and
It's interesting, right?
really interesting, yeah.
Because on the surface, it's a little bit, oh, profits are down,
62%.
but but there's some
Well,
really
there are pockets of growth.
exactly, and that's what we're gonna get into today.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
So to do that, we've got like the usual suspects.
We've got a lot of stuff.
We've got the financial statements,
Of course.
the what is it? TML
Backlog.
consolidated results, September 2024 PDF.
Yes,
We've got
which is a mouthful,
it is a mouthful, but
but important.
important.
We need those numbers.
We've got some analysis from
A
Screener.
little market perspective.
Yeah.
Always good.
See what the investors are thinking.
Mhm.
We've got a news article from the Economic Times.
For the headlines, yep.
Headlines, exactly. And then if you really want to go down the rabbit hole,
You can.
we've got press releases.
Yeah, company spin.
Yeah, and even the earnings call recording.
Ooh, straight from the horse's mouth.
Straight from the horse's mouth. So
That's always fun.
it's a lot.
It's a lot to dig through, yeah.
But that's what makes this so interesting, right?
Absolutely.
Because, okay, passenger vehicle sales
A little bit down.
took a little hit,
Yeah.
but commercial vehicles,
Doing great.
EVs,
EVs are,
looking good.
yeah, we're killing it.
So that's what we're trying to figure out today.
Ask the puss.
Like, what is going on?
Exactly.
What does this mean for the future of Tata?
So to get started,
Yeah.
let's look at the financial statements.
Okay.
The first thing we see, revenue from operations,
Okay.
101,450 crore,
Okay.
which is a 3.5%
It's down a little.
decrease.
Yeah.
Yes.
From last year.
Yes, compared to this time last year.
But that.
This is important to remember.
Yeah.
It's consolidated.
Yes.
Area.
So this is all the subsegments.
Tata, commercial vehicle,
Passenger vehicle.
Jaguar Land Rover,
Yeah.
vehicle financing, it's all in there.
It's all lumped together.
Yeah.
And when we break it down, we see
Okay.
Jaguar Land Rover actually got hit pretty hard
Makes sense.
because of aluminum supply.
Oh, supply chain issues.
Exactly. Global stuff.
Yeah.
So their sales dropped by 5.6%.
Wow. So that's having a big impact because Jaguar Land Rover is
Huge part of their business.
a big chunk of their revenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just the aluminum.
No.
The earnings call mentioned some, quality stress stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had
6,029 vehicles.
Wow. So that
Like
also
a whole.
put production on hold.
Yeah.
So yeah, revenue decline is never great,
Not ideal.
but we got to consider
The context,
this was kind of out of their hands.
like a swimmer in a choppy ocean.
Right, exactly.
So those are some global headwinds. What about closer to home?
Well, the Economic Times article
Yeah.
points to some weak demand
Oh.
in the Indian passenger vehicle market.
Okay, so it's not just global. There's local issues too.
It's a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but here's where it gets interesting.
Okay, I like interesting.
Despite these challenges,
Okay.
Screener says they actually reduced their debt,
Okay, so that's good.
which is a good sign.
Yeah,
And get this,
hit me.
5-year compounded profit growth,
Okay.
93.1%.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
So even with these headwinds,
Long term,
Yeah.
they're looking strong.
they're looking good.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's strong long-term potential,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also those bright spots we talked about.
The growth areas, yeah.
Yeah, let's dig into that.
Let's do it.
Starting with commercial vehicles.
Okay, so their press release,
Yeah.
they're highlighting the fact that they have an 11.2% EBITDA margin
Okay.
for the first half of the year.
Okay. And that's with a 5.2%
Revenue dip.
dip in revenue.
Yeah,
So they stayed profitable even though revenue was down.
they did. And
It's impressive.
especially consider.
Infrastructure projects slowed down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mining activity was reduced.
Which is usually good for commercial vehicles.
Exactly.
So they're making smart decisions
They
to
are
stay afloat.
adapting to the market.
Okay, so they're adapting.
Mhm.
They're
Are you ready to talk about the star of the show?
EVs. Let's do it.
Tata's killing it.
Okay.
65% market share
Wow.
in India.
That's huge.
They are the kings of the EV hill.
So they're not slowing down at all.
Nope.
In fact, they're expanding their charging infrastructure.
Rapidly.
Yeah, rapidly.
Yeah.
14,000
Points
charging points
by the end of Q2.
by the end of Q2.
Like
And new models galore. The Nexon EV Max.
Curve.
Yep, they're all in.
They are not messing around.
Diving in head first.
Head first.
Yeah,
But why?
that's the important question.
Yeah, what's driving this?
Yeah.
Is it just a trend?
Well, There's a global push
Okay.
towards sustainability.
Makes sense.
Governments are giving incentives.
Right.
Consumers want eco-friendly options.
Okay.
And specifically in India,
Yeah.
the government wants 30%
Wow.
of new car sales to be electric by 2030.
Okay, so it's not just a trend. It's like
That's a huge shift.
a huge shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're on top of that,
They're well positioned,
but there's always risks
of course.
to the new technology.
The earnings call mentioned
Yeah.
EV subsidies lapsing,
Oh, okay.
which could impact sales.
Right, and charging infrastructure.
Still a challenge.
Yeah, huge challenge.
Yeah.
But Tata seems to be tackling this head on.
They are.
In fact, they've allocated 3,000 crore rupees,
That's a lot of money.
a lot of money towards new technologies
In the first half of the year,
in the first half of the year already.
committed.
Wow, they are committed.
Yeah, and they're focused
Okay.
on market share,
Mm-hmm.
customer experience,
Oh,
all of
interesting.
that.
Big
innovation, marketing.
And it seems to be working.
Seems to be.
The press release said their traditional passenger vehicle business.
Even with the headwinds,
Yeah,
still maintained an 8.5% EBITDA margin.
that's really good.
It's not bad.
Okay, so we've got global supply chain issues,
Yes.
a weak domestic market
Uh-huh.
affecting overall performance,
Yep.
but then you've got this growth in commercial vehicles and EVs.
The bright spots.
So how's their financial health overall?
That's a great question. Let's look at the financials.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the financials, trying to see beyond the headlines.
Yeah, get a sense of their real financial health.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier that,
The 93%.
yeah, like the 5-year
The 5-year compounded
profit growth,
profit growth, yeah.
93.1%.
It's not just impressive because of the number.
Right.
It shows they've been, actively reducing debt
At the same time.
at the same time, yeah.
So they're not just
Growing recklessly.
growing recklessly. They're,
It's responsible growth.
yeah, responsible growth. So what's the
Where's the debt at now?
the current situation?
Net automotive debt sits at 22,000 crore,
That's still
which I know sounds like a lot.
a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
But you said context is everything.
Context is key.
Yeah.
They've made huge strides in deleveraging,
Okay.
and their stated goal is
Yeah.
net debt-free by the end of the year.
The end of the fiscal year.
Fiscal year, yeah. So
Wow, that's ambitious.
it's ambitious.
But they seem to be pretty good at
Hitting their target.
hitting their targets, yeah.
They do.
So it's not just about slashing debt.
No.
They're also
Improving those ratios.
the ratios.
T ratios, yeah.
Yeah, give me an example.
So, like, their debt to equity ratio,
Okay.
which, measures how much they're relying on borrowed money,
Okay.
has dropped from 2.23 last year
Okay.
to 0.96 now.
So they're using less debt to
Finance operations.
yeah, and that's a good sign
It is.
for investors, right?
It is, absolutely.
Makes them less vulnerable to
Interest rate hikes,
yeah, all that.
gives them more flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah, and their interest coverage ratios improve too.
Okay, so that means that they can
Cover their interest payments
more easily.
more easily, yeah.
So stronger financial foundation.
Overall, yeah.
Okay. So we've got this company
Yeah.
navigating a really complex landscape.
It's a mixed bag.
It is a mixed bag. They've got the legacy businesses.
Ladwar Land Rover.
Yeah, facing those short-term issues,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also putting a lot of resources
Yes, your focus.
into the future.
Yeah.
Like the commercial vehicles and EVs.
Mm-hmm.
What I find really interesting is how they're leveraging
Different segments, yeah.
the different segments.
Fascinating.
Like taking that EV knowledge.
From passenger cars,
Yeah,
applying it to commercial.
exactly.
Yeah,
They've already launched the electric versions.
of their ACE commercial vehicles.
Right, and electric buses too.
The buses are doing well.
Yeah,
Which
3,300.
data set so far.
So it's smart, right?
Very smart.
They're not just like copying and pasting.
No, they're adapting.
They're adapting to the needs of the market.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about being
An EV company.
yeah, it's about being
a comprehensive
Yeah.
mobility solutions.
exactly with a
Diverse.
diverse portfolio, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a huge advantage, right?
In this climate, yeah.
Like
Multiple streams of income.
yeah, exactly.
One dries up, the others are there.
Yeah, exactly.
But managing all that diversity,
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
it's a challenge.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
It requires planning, execution.
Makes you wonder about their focus.
Can they really do it all?
Yeah, can they excel at everything?
The investor presentation actually mentions
Oh, okay.
some of the risks.
Like what?
competition in the EV market.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's heating up.
And the regulations.
Constantly changing.
Yeah, like those subsidies we talked about.
They
That could really
could
change things.
throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah.
And, of course, the whole macroeconomic environment.
Right, right.
Inflation, interest rates, recessions.
So, listeners, lots to pay attention to.
Yeah, what should they be watching for?
Yeah, like in the coming quarters.
What are those key signals?
Yeah, how do we know if they're actually going to achieve their goals?
Oh, okay. First and foremost,
Yeah,
EV sales.
okay.
Can they hold on to that market share?
Keep those profits coming in.
As competition increases, yeah.
Yeah, good point.
What about the debt reduction?
Yeah, are they going to hit that net zero?
Net debt free.
Oh, yeah.
Keep an eye on those ratios.
The debt to equity.
Interest coverage. Yep.
And, of course,
It's external factors.
the supply chain.
Regulations.
All that.
All of it.
It's about how they adapt.
Right. Absolutely. But don't forget about the core businesses either.
Yeah, Jaguar Land Rover, can they bounce back?
Yeah. And the commercial vehicles.
With all the economic uncertainty.
Exactly.
It's all connected, all right?
It is.
The success of those older businesses.
Fuels the new investments.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't just look at one number.
Right.
Got to see the big picture.
The interplay of all these different factors.
Exactly. That's what makes these deep dives.
So valuable.
Yeah. So valuable, yeah.
You get all these different perspectives.
You understand the nuances.
Yeah, and it's not just about the numbers.
It's the why behind them.
The why, exactly.
It's about empowering ourselves
Okay.
as decision makers, you know, investors, consumers.
Just informed citizens, yeah.
Exactly.
So we've covered a lot of ground,
We have.
but we're circling this big question. Will all that good stuff, the EVs, the commercial vehicles, outweigh the challenges?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is, and it's a tough one.
Yeah. No easy answers here.
There's just so much going on.
So many moving parts.
It's impossible to,
Predict the future.
predict the future, right?
Right.
But I think,
We've given you
the
information,
the insights.
tools.
Yeah, those earnings calls.
Those press releases.
all that stuff. And now it's
It's up to you.
up to you, the listener,
The listener, yeah.
to kind of
Put the pieces together.
put it all together and figure out
Make your own conclusions.
what you think.
Exactly.
Because we're not here to,
Give you the answers.
we're just trying to
Guide
give
you.
you a framework, right?
A framework for analysis.
Yeah, so as you're thinking about Tata Motors,
Mm-hmm.
whether you're, a potential investor,
Or
a customer, or just someone who's
Interested in the industry.
interested in how it all works,
Yeah.
what are your big takeaways?
For me, it's that they're at a crossroads.
They're this
Legacy company
legacy company, but they're also,
trying to reinvent themselves.
it's
It's
like
nature.
it's like they're rebuilding the plane
While it's still in the air.
while it's still flying. Exactly.
That's a great analogy.
And it's tough, right?
Oh, it's incredibly difficult.
You got to keep the old stuff going,
Keep the lights on.
but also invest in the new stuff.
And navigate a changing market.
Yeah, and there's those external factors too.
Oh, the things they can't control.
Yeah, like
Supply chain.
supply chain,
Economic headwinds.
all that.
It's a lot,
It's a lot.
but they are showing resilience.
They're
They're just chipping away at that debt.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
making profits.
They're investing in new technologies.
They're not getting up.
So it's a mixed bag, like we said,
It always is.
but there's definitely potential.
Oh, tons of potential.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Absolutely.
So listeners,
Stay informed.
stay informed. Keep an eye on Tata.
Pay attention to those signals we talked about.
Those signals, like
The EV sales.
EV sales, can they keep that market share?
Can they stay profitable?
Yeah, the competition is getting fierce.
It is.
And what about that debt?
That mountain of debt?
Are they going to get to net zero?
Net debt free
Net debt free, yeah.
by the end of the year.
And how are they dealing with those external factors?
Well, it's curveballs.
Yeah, the stuff they can't control.
Exactly.
It's all about how they adapt.
Adaptation is key.
But it's also about looking beyond,
The headlines.
the headlines, the numbers,
Quarterly reports.
and trying to understand
The long-term vision.
the why behind it all.
The why. Exactly.
All comes back to that.
It does. It always does.
Will those bright spots be bright enough?
To outshine the struggles. What indicators will you be watching?
Yeah, what are you going to be paying attention to?
Think about it.
That's what we want you to do.
Engage with the material.
We've given you the information,
The insights.
the tool.
Now go explore.
Yeah. Use
Draw your own conclusions.
what resonated with you,
What will you be watching for?
because that's the real magic of these deep dives.
It's not about the answers.
It's about empowering you
To find your own.
to find your own answers.
The learning never ends.
It doesn't. There's always more to learn,
More to explore.
more to uncover.
So keep that curiosity going.
Keep that engine running.
See where it takes you.
Until next time, happy exploring.